Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that so many of you have asked about, something that can feel like a roller coaster you can't get off of. The on-again, off-again relationship. You know the cycle, you break up, you swear this time it's for good, but then a few weeks or months later, you find yourselves right back where you started. It's confusing, it's draining, and it can leave you wondering, why does this keep happening? Is it love, or is it something else? Well, today, we're going to unpack the psychology behind this dynamic. We'll explore the deep-seated reasons why we get stuck in these cycles, what it does to our mental and emotional health, and most importantly, how to know when it is time to either commit for good or finally break the cycle and move on. So if you've ever been in this situation or know someone who has, stick around, because this is going to be an eye-opening conversation. First, let's define what we're talking about. On-again, off-again relationships, sometimes called relationship cycling, involve a pattern of breaking up and reconciling multiple times. It's not just about taking a short break to cool off after a fight. It's a recurring pattern where the relationship status is constantly in flux. Studies have shown this is surprisingly common, with over 60% of adults reporting they've experienced it. So if you're in this boat, you are definitely not alone. So, what's the psychological pull? Why do we keep going back? One of the biggest factors is something called intermittent reinforcement. This is a concept from behavioral psychology, famously demonstrated with lab rats pressing a lever. If a rat gets a treat every single time it presses the lever, it learns the pattern. But if the reward is unpredictable, sometimes it gets a treat, sometimes it doesn't. The rat becomes obsessed, pressing the lever compulsively. Human relationships can work in a similar way. The relationship provides moments of intense happiness, connection, and validation. Those are the treats. But these moments are inconsistent, mixed with periods of conflict, distance, and heartache. The unpredictability of the good times makes them feel even more rewarding when they happen, creating a powerful, almost addictive bond. You're constantly chasing the high of the reconciliation, the we're back together moment, which can temporarily erase all the pain that came before it. Another huge piece of the puzzle is our attachment style. Our early relationships with caregivers shape how we connect with romantic partners in adulthood. If you have an anxious attachment style, you might crave closeness and fear. Abandonment. The thought of being alone is terrifying, so you might rush back to a familiar partner, even if the relationship is unstable, because the pain of separation feels worse than the pain of the dysfunctional cycle. The breakup triggers your deepest fears of being left, and getting back together provides immediate relief from that anxiety. On the other hand, someone with an avoidant attachment style might feel suffocated by too much intimacy. They pull away when things get too close, causing a breakup. But once they have their space, they start to miss the connection and romanticize the good parts of the relationship, leading them to read. When an anxious person and an avoidant person get together, it can create the perfect storm for an on-again, off-again cycle. One person chases, the other retreats, and the pattern repeats. Let's not forget the sunk cost fallacy. This is a cognitive bias where we continue to invest in something, whether it's time, money, or emotions, simply because we've already invested so much. We think, I've put years into this relationship, I can't just walk away now. We focus on what we've already lost or sacrificed, rather than evaluating the situation based on its current and future potential for happiness. The idea of starting over with someone new feels daunting, so we cling to the familiar investment, hoping our past efforts will eventually pay off. And then there's the powerful role of nostalgia and idealization. When you're separated, it's easy to forget the reasons you broke up. Your brain starts to play a highlight reel of all the good times, the laughter, the inside jokes, the moments of perfect connection. You remember the person you fell in love with, not necessarily the person you fought with. This selective memory can be incredibly persuasive, convincing you that maybe things weren't so bad after all. Maybe this time, it'll be different. This brings us to a critical point. The impact on our well-being. While the reunions can feel euphoric, research consistently shows that on-again, off-again relationships are associated with higher rates of psychological distress, including symptoms of depression and anxiety. The constant uncertainty is emotionally exhausting. You can't plan for the future. You're always on edge, wondering when the next conflict will erupt and lead to another breakup. This instability wears down your self-esteem, making you question your judgment and your worth. You might start to believe that this chaotic love is all you deserve. The cycle can also isolate you from your friends and family. They watch you go through the same painful process over and over. They offer support, but after the third or fourth time you get back together with the person who caused you so much pain, their patience can wear thin. They might feel like their advice is being ignored, which can create distance in your support system right when you need it most. So, how do you break free? Or is it even possible to turn a cycling relationship into a stable, healthy one? The first step is radical honesty with yourself. You have to move beyond the emotions of the moment and look at the pattern. Get out a piece of paper and write it down. Why did you break up the last time? And the time before that? Are the core issues the same? If you're repeatedly breaking up over fundamental differences in values, life, goals, or communication styles, it's a major red flag. Hope is not a strategy. If nothing has fundamentally changed in either of you or the situation, the cycle will likely continue. Communication is key, but it has to be a different kind of communication. It's not about rehashing old fights. It's about having a meta-conversation about the pattern itself. Both partners need to acknowledge we are stuck in a cycle. Why? What are our individual fears and needs that keep pulling us back into this? This often requires the help of a couples therapist. A neutral third party can help you identify the underlying dynamics like that anxious avoidant trap and give you tools to communicate more effectively and break the pattern. You also have to confront your fear of the unknown. Part of what keeps us stuck is the comfort of familiarity, even if it's a painful familiarity. The idea of being single, of dating again, of building something new, can be terrifying. You need to build up your own life outside of the relationship. Reconnect with friends, invest in your hobbies, focus on your career or personal growth. The more fulfilled and secure you are on your own, the less you'll feel you asterisk. You'll be able to evaluate the relationship from a place of strength and choice, not from a place of fear and dependency. And finally, you have to be willing to walk away for good. This is the hardest part. It means accepting that love isn't always enough. You can love someone deeply, but if the relationship is consistently causing you distress and holding you back, it's not healthy. A successful breakup in this context requires a clean break. That means no late-night texts, no checking their social media, no just checking in. You need to create space to heal and detox from the intermittent reinforcement cycle. It will be painful, like any withdrawal, but it is the necessary path to true freedom and finding a love that is stable, secure, and genuinely brings you peace. Remember, a healthy relationship should be a source of stability in your life, not the primary source of chaos. It should feel like a safe harbor, not a stormy sea you're constantly trying to navigate. If you're struggling in a cycle like this, please consider talking to a therapist or a trusted friend. You don't have to navigate this alone. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a heavy topic, but it's an important one. If this resonated with you, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content on psychology and relationships. See you in the next one.